Record. Welcome back, everybody. Inshallah, today we're going to discuss a new skill. It's a new old, let's say, skill. New old. Why new old? Because I have begun discussing it last time. All right. And let me say we did not finish up this skill because it was not the intended skill. All right. But anyway, this skill is all about, learning the meaning of words or difficult words. All right. I'll use context to determine meanings of difficult words. All right. Did we take this one? Skill 10, guys? Remind me if we did. Did we take it? Yeah, we did, because there's the Black Widow. I think today we're going to use context clues to determine meanings of easy words or simple words. That's what we're going to do today. Okay, so there's another skill right after this. It's 11. Here it is. Okay, let me enlarge this. Yeah, because sometimes we don't take reading, consistently. That's why I might, kind of go back to you and ask where we have stopped. Okay, so use context to determine meanings of simple words. Like I said before, guys, sometimes there are simple words. However, these words have different meanings. How do we know which word we are going to use, or which one is the correct word? All right. The meanings are all correct. We decide based on the context, that we are, reading or working on. Okay. That's how we decide, on what the meaning of the word is. So use context, the context, that means, the words that are, that surround, or the sentences, or the text itself. Let me say the title, the ideas, let me say, they should help you to determine. Determine means to decide, on the meaning of the simple word. Like I told you before, one time I told you guys, sometimes we say, I have a book. I have a book. It means, you possess. That's something that you own, right? Sometimes you say, I have, a friend, is like when you say, I have a friend, like I have a book. All right. And then you say, I have a meeting. See, have, and then a meeting. Does that mean you possess or own? So we use it to talk about, our plans also. The word have, the verb have, right? So see the meaning, The meaning is different every time. And although we don't consider the word have like a difficult word, right? So it's really a simple word. However, you determine the meaning of the word, based on the context. So when I said something like, I have a meeting, how did you know it was an event that is coming up, and so on? The context, the other words that were in that exist, I'm sorry, in the sentence, they help you determine the meaning. All right. So you will sometimes be asked to determine the meaning of a simple word. Like I said, like have, like put. Look at this. All right. A word that you see often in everyday English. It's not like it's a word that you've never heard before. In this type of question, you should not give the normal everyday meaning of the word. Don't go ahead, run and give the answer just because you know what this word means, but in a different context, or the everyday context. Wait, guys. Be patient. Read the word in context and then decide what the meaning of the word is. All right. So instead, see what the TOEFL book says? Instead, the TOEFL test wants to know the meaning of the word in this situation. Which situation? This situation. That means in context. Okay. In a certain context. All right. Not in general, or what you know, or your experience, experience that you have, in relation to that word. So a line from the passage. Look, this is a line from a certain passage, from a certain, let me say, essay or paragraph, right? He put his answer this way. He put his answer this way. What does it mean when someone says that this person put his answer this way? Does put mean placed, set, expressed, handed? Yes, Dr. Ruba.
I think the correct answer is expressed.
Exactly. It sure is. It means expressed. عبر عن نفسه. How many of you have heard the word put to mean عبر عن نفسه? All right. عبرت عن نفسها. All right. The way he put his words is the way he expressed his words. How did I know? Because of the context. When you say his words, his answer, his speech, all right? It means, what do you use in relation to speech? What do you do in relation to speech? Do you place speech? Do you set speech? Do you express speech? You express it, guys, huh? You express your answer or your sentence or your speech, you know? It's something that you express yourself, let me say, using, all right? Huh? In that kind of way. So it's not handed, of course, because placed means, guys, wada. Set means also something like placed in some kind of like put something in a certain way, like put in a way where to stay, to remain, all right? And expressed has to do with ta'bir, speech, and then handed, yusallim, usually give something by hand to someone or something of that kind. So these are not the words that are needed, all right? Or it's not the intended meaning, right? So here we go. Let me just, enlarge this so that it will be clear to you all. All right, and then we can talk some more about this skill. So in this type of question, you should understand that put is a normal. Put is not a difficult word in terms of meaning, guys. It's a normal, اعتيادية, everyday word. يعني كلمة كل يوم, guys. يعني we come across, نواجهها, بنسمعها. And you are not being asked to give the regular meaning of a normal everyday word. You are not. In the TOEFL exam, guys, when you are asked, a question about a word that is easy, be careful. It's not necessarily the meaning, the meaning that you're going to give is not going to be the one probably that you have heard every day. It's going to be determined by, the meaning of the word is going to be determined by the context, okay? Because the primary meaning of to put, see the primary, يعني استخدام الشائع الأساسي, to place, which is answer A, is not the correct answer, although it means that, guys, but the context does not give that meaning. مع انه من ضمن الخيارات, guys, to place, put, يضع معناها المعنى الشائع, right? But why did we not choose it? Because that's not the meaning that the context, let me say what reflected or had, right? Yeah, got the idea? So A is not the correct answer. The answer of this type of question, you must see which of the answers best fits into the sentence in the passage. You cannot place an answer or set an answer, answer or hand an answer, but you can express an answer. See why? So you think about what follows. You express an answer. So connect the word put, instead of put, remove put, and put the other verbs that are, let me say, that are options, and connect them to the rest of the sentence, which is answer. Like over here, look, guys. Let me show you what we're going to do. So instead of say he put his answer, you say he placed his answer, he set his answer, he expressed his answer, he handed his answer. This way, and then look this way, in a certain way. All right? So the only word that works is expressed. And let me tell you guys, in America, guys, and in English in general, people use this kind of phrase to talk about how someone, let me say, said something and, got the idea, how he expressed himself, all right? So it's very common to say that he put his answer this way, all right? Or he put, really not necessarily just his answer, his response, it could be something like that, all right? Yeah, in a certain way. All right, so that's the answer. The following chart, as usual, guys, we have, become very used to these charts, and they're very good, they're very helpful. This chart in the reading, guys, what is the goal of the chart? What's the goal? It's what outlines the key information that you should remember about vocabulary questions containing simple words. They might ask you this kind of question. Be careful. What is the meaning? However, don't rush and give the answer to the question. Okay? Like I said, read the word in context, how we did it right now. Like, okay, it's put does mean this, but does it mean like, this in the context that it is put in? You have to read this, all right? Which of the following is closest in meaning to? They might ask you the question in this kind of way. Which is the closest in meaning? And you have options. The word is a simple word, one that you see often in everyday English. So be careful, guys. Don't get fooled by the word, all right? Because it's simple. You say, oh, I know quickly. No, be careful, guys. It is a simple word. However, try to understand what it means, in connection to its context, okay? Where to find the answer? The question usually tells you in which line of the passage the word can be found. So when you're told where the word can be found, run to that word and to the context in which it is put and read it in a complete sentence. And like I said, make sure that you understand the context, okay? How to answer the question: find the word in the passage. Of course, you're going to do that. Read the sentence that contains the word carefully. Look for contextual clues. Remember what we did, guys, when we said what? Answered. The word answered was the one that the key clue, let me say, that told us that put is going to be what? Expressed, okay? Yeah, to help you understand the meaning, choose the answer. Then at the end, that the context indicates. So you pick your answer. You choose your answer based on, see guys, the context and its indications, all right? Study each of the following or each of the passages and choose the best answers to the questions that follow. The piece of 8. What is the piece of 8, guys? See, remember, there are no titles, because sometimes, like I told you, the goal of not having a title is because you might have a question about this paragraph, which is related to the title, like what could the title be, all right, something like that. So the piece of 8 was the nickname of the Spanish peso. It's a kind of coin, a Spanish coin, okay? The piece of 8 was the nickname. So we say sometimes, guys, shilin, khamsa irush, right? We say something like that, So, the same coin might have different, what? Names, right? So the piece of 8 was the nickname of and look, was. So it's not as common as it was, okay? The Spanish peso, all right? It's a kind of Spanish coin, which was the rough equivalent of the American dollar. So the peso, or the piece of 8, it was the rough equivalent, like a dollar, like a dinar, yeah, okay, in early America. All right, that was when in early America, like when America was, a younger country. The peso was accepted coin. The peso was accepted coin in much of the Americas. Well, I wouldn't say the peso was accepted coin. It was an accepted coin, all right, in much of the Americas, all right? That's what I would say. Not just, guys, in South America. When we say, in much of the Americas, it could be North America and South America, okay? Particularly during the period when the stores of Spanish ships, were regularly stripped by pirates on the waters of the Americas and redistributed throughout the coastal towns. So to what? That was when, during the period, when the stores of Spanish ships, were regularly stripped by pirates. Can you imagine the stores of Spanish ships? So there were stores in America that contained what? Spanish ships. Sufun Hispania. Who would come to these stores? Pirates, qarasina. And they would do what? They would strip those stores. Strip them means steal money from them, okay? On the waters of the Americas, and what? Redistributed, and redistributed throughout the coastal towns. What is to redistribute?
إعادة توزيع وزعوها.
Exactly. Coastal towns, that means towns that were where on, that had water, on one
ساحلية.
side. Exactly. So the nickname piece of 8 derived from the fact that the peso was equal to 8 reals. It was equal to what? 8 reals. What are reals? Okay. Seems, 8 different divisions, right? And therefore had the numeral 8 stamped on it. It had what, guys? A number 8 on it. Okay, that's why it's called the piece of 8. Maybe it's divided into 8 sections itself, all right? Each section was called what? Reals. A reel. Reels is plural because 8 reels, that's why. Okay, so the piece of 8 was sometimes actually cut into pieces or bits, so you could really actually cut it, guys. Can you imagine? Or bits, size, smaller sizes. That's what I mean. Bits are pieces even, but smaller in size maybe. And one popular size was 1/4 of a piece of 8. 1/4 of a piece of 8. So what does that mean? 25% of one piece of 8. Because you remember the thing itself, the peso, is divided into 8. Each piece could be divided into a quarter. That means each piece could be divided into what? 4 pieces when you say a quarter of a piece, right? Or 2 bits, or means this or that, either into 4 or into 2 bits. As a consequence, ونتيجة لذلك, the US quarter of a dollar is sometimes referred to today as 2 bits. لحتى الآن guys الدولار الأمريكي في له ربع طبعا زي ربع الدينار guys, the same the quarter of a dollar, ربع الدولار sometimes people call it 2 bits, okay, من الإيش guys, من Spanish bit, okay, yeah, because till now there are lots of states in the United States guys that have really 2 languages. What are they, the 2 languages? Spanish and English. So lots of people, even in Texas guys, it's a a southern state, speak Spanish, honestly speaking. So many of them are originally Mexican or Spanish, and they speak Spanish. And they also speak English though, all right, most of the times, all right? So where are we? Particularly where? In the western part of the country. A visitor to that area, so where is that most common? The West, okay? Yes, not in the, imagine guys, not in the North, not in the East. The East is very European in that kind of way, all right? Yeah, remember the Wild West that I told you about, Yeah. A visitor to that area, if told, it'll be 2 bits. So إذا زائر راح للمنطقة هذيك and someone tells him it will be 2 bits, should take it that the price of an item is being given. يعني إذا واحد قال لك إنه سعر الشغلة اللي أنت حطيتها في بالك وبدك تشتريها 2 bits, what does that mean? قديش يعني 2 bits بالعملة الأمريكية؟
quarter of dollar.
Are you sure? A quarter of a piece of 8 or 2 bits? A quarter of
ربع الثمانية.
a quarter or 2 bits. So again,
احنا حكينا ال 8 of bits is the same of dollar, and quarter of 8 bits, a quarter of dollar.
Okay, and one popular size was 1/4 of a piece of 8 or 2 bits. So 1/4 is called 2 bits, right? One popular size was 1/4, a quarter, yani 1/4 means a quarter of a piece of 8, or 2 bits. Anyway, let's focus on meaning. The word rough
يعني
in line 1, guys, let's focus on meaning. They don't really care if you understand this or not. It's good to understand it, but I mean, let's see what they mean by the words. So rough, the piece of 8 was the nickname for the Spanish peso, which was the rough equivalent.
approximately.
Exactly. So Dr. Khulud, thank you very much. The rough equivalent, when we're talking about money and you say rough equivalent, it roughly equals, and it means what? Approximate. حوالي.
Approximately.
Yeah, roughly means approximately, يعني حوالي guys. المعنى الدارج لrough اللي هو القساوي guys. This is a rough floor, okay? Like زي الحجار، الأشياء القاسية. A rough world, yes. حتى مرات بنقول this is a rough world. يعني الحياة نفسها guys قاسية, okay?
دكتورة rough كيف بس يعني خشن.
ممكن يكون سطح خشن, okay? بس بدي أقول لك شغلة, we also say, the world that we live in is a rough world, all right? So even the word rough could be sometimes, also what, not, let me say, concrete. It could be like abstract in a way, that it's stressful, all right? Not tiring also, okay? Yeah, but the meaning that we want here, because we're talking about, look, equivalent, all right? So what do you think? Approximate equivalent. So remove rough and put these. Does it mean unsmooth equivalent? Does it mean mean equivalent? Does it mean approximate equivalent, heavy equivalent? See? Because all of these words, just to let you know, if you check the dictionary, they all mean rough. You see why? They are hard, to choose from. However, if you go to the context, like I said, and decide which one fits here, with equivalent of the American dollar, it will be what? Approximate. Okay? Like almost, around, Yeah. Dr. Islam, thank you so much, Dr. Khulud, and everyone who has helped Dr. Islam. Number 2, stores.
stores in the line 3 are appropriately. I think it mean supplies.
Good job. So if we want to go to line 3 over here, particularly during the period when the stores of Spanish ships. What is stores? Oh, okay. So stores, guys, the Spanish ships themselves, اللي السفن الحربية or سفن خلينا نقول Spanish ضروري حربية guys. Stores فيها مخازن نفسها بالسفينة. Were regularly stripped. You know, in every ship there's a store في زي مكان لتخزين الأشياء, right? Or ممكن حتى تخزين الفلوس, you know, so they were stripped يعني, you know, pirates would come and steal the things that were there inside of those stores مخازن يعني, they store, you know, money, maybe supplies, expensive things. Yes. So what did you say the answer was?
Supplies, Victoria, yes. Number 3, I mean, supplies.
So the stores of Spanish ships were regularly stripped by pirates on the waters of the Americas and redistributed through the coastal towns. Redistributed, like given. Like, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, who is that famous, you know, person who steals money from the rich and gives it to the poor? Zorro. Have you ever heard of Zorro?
Yes.
Yes.
Zorro, yes.
Zorro.
Of
Or
course,
Robin Hood. Have you ever heard of Robin Hood?
Yes, صاحب الظل الطويل. Yes.
It's equivalent of Zorro.
Yes, exactly. So it seems that these people were really not that evil, you know, who would, you know, the pirates themselves. Because listen, guys, and we used to say in Arabic, I think I heard of a Shatir Hassan. Have you ever heard of a Shatir Hassan? Something like that. These are like
soldier, yes.
stories, yeah. So some people, they would like, because maybe themselves, the Spanish people were, guys, they were colonists. Yani they had a lot of money and they colonized people and lands and they took their resources anyway. Yani, even if these pirates take from the Spanish themselves have stolen all those things that are in the stores themselves from people anyway. Got the idea? And look what they do. They don't take it for themselves. The pirates never took the money for themselves, or the, let me say, the stores, you know, what was in the stores, what was available there. Look, they would redistribute the things they got from the stores. Or, you know, you see, what does that mean? To whom? Maybe to people who are needy, right? That's the thing. That's what I think they did. All right. So yes, as she said, you know, your friend said, so when the stores of Spanish ships were regularly stripped, the stores would not be a store, because, you know, we go to a department store. So it's not departments, it's not markets, it's not shops. That means, you know, places in the ship which have supplies, or we say the supplies themselves, and that's enough to say. Dr. Laith, number 3 is yours.
The word take in line 9 could best be replaced by it will be 2 bits. Should take it that the price of an item is being given. Hold, understand, yes. Process, grab, understand, B.
Yes. So you should take it means that you should understand. Yes, it's really true. That's what it is. Because, you know, we're trying, remember when you were trying to convince me what this means, and I was trying to convince you based on my understanding and based on your understanding, right? Remember what happened? So this is whether a visitor to that area, which is the Western areas, guys. They're talking about the West, all right? If told, it'll be 2 bits. Should take it that the price, take it like understand it, like, listen to me. If you go to downtown Amman, all right, and, you know, somebody tells you, ask someone, how much does this cost? And he says, Barize. If you don't know what that means, you're not going to give him 10 piasters. You're going to say, what? Pardon me, right? Like, that's what I did, you know, and then I understood what it means. I learned that later on. So yes, you will not know. Or if you go to Karak and they will tell you, how much does this cost? You ask them, how much does this cost? Do you know what they will say?
What?
Near 10. Like دينارين 2
شو
dinars.
غاي؟ شو دكتور غاي؟ خلينا نشوف رأي الدكتور غاي.
What do you think?
انا بدي احكي مرات بسموا يعني ثمنها قروش، يعني بدون ما يحكي القيمه قروش.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Okay. Yes, all right. So, because I heard that, but I understood it, how come I understood and how much you understood, how come you understood grush is money? It's because you understood the context. That's why. Okay. So the goal of this guys exercise really is that we're not going to live, or we did not live in Spain. Okay. But we read the text and we gained a kind of understanding, let me say, based on what the context and its clues. All right. So what we want to say here about the skill is that never ever in a reading passage, give the answer to the meaning of a word, whether you know it or you don't, without reading it in context, and try to alternate, the options that you have, place them in the place of the word that they ask, okay, and see what fits the most, let me say, if you don't really understand, by just reading, the word itself, like use those options A, B, C, D, put them in that place and see which one do you think feels right. Okay. Yeah, so this is the skill that we have finished today, which is in the reading, but we want to take a look at something else for today, just for 15 minutes, guys, and then I will give you your freedom, okay? So I would like to look at, because we don't want to continue with another reading passage, because these are not difficult, by the way. You can do them on your own. You can go through them every day, probably read one or two. The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith is the name of a book. You can go through that. Cardamom. You know what cardamom is? Passage 1 here. Cardamom. Who knows what cardamom is? Hail. Hail, bhar. You have to know what that is. The kind of herb that is used with coffee. We use cardamom all the time. Our mothers, our grandmothers, if you visit an Arab at home, will they will offer you coffee with cardamom. Mostly if it's the Arabian coffee, not the Turkish version, because some people like cardamom with the Turkish version of coffee, some don't, right? But Arabian coffee must have cardamom as a main ingredient. And cardamom means what, guys? Hail. All right. Yeah. And here the lifespan of an elephant, like learn about elephants and how long they live. Okay. So, you have really nice passages here. And then you have one about the American flag, red, white, and blue. All right. And then, oh, wow, Bigfoot. Have you ever watched the movie Bigfoot? So, if I were you, I would, enjoy these, try to enjoy the passages, all right? And I honestly love Benjamin Franklin. Read about this man who really, helped a lot in the building of America, all right? Yeah, so, the texts themselves are very nice ones, try to enjoy them, try to benefit from them. And at the same time, you will gain a lot of vocabulary, and you will learn how to let me say, develop those skills and not have problems with them. Okay, so where I am going, honestly speaking, is today I would like to share with you some, I think, discussions, or a discussion related, or some discussions related to some vocabulary items. We talked about similar sounds last time, and we did not finish them all. We spent a lot of time on them, but I think, I gave you, as they say, the thread, and you have to work from there, sometimes on your own. Today, we would like to take a look at some phrasal verbs. What are phrasal verbs? Do you know what they are, phrasal verbs? 2 or 3 part verbs. That's what they mean.
phrasal verb يعني بيكون فيها verb وفي بيكون preposition.
Good job. Yes. There in front of you, you have examples. Yes. A phrasal verb is, a verb that, has a preposition connected to it. And, let me say, sometimes, this preposition, when it's connected to it in that specific way, it gives, a different meaning to, this combination gives another meaning besides the meaning of the verb. Sometimes it can help, the meaning, assist, and sometimes it doesn't, the whole combination is a creation of a new verb, let me say, and a new meaning even, all right? So anyway, what we want to say today is that, we want to learn the meanings of these phrasal verbs. How do we use them? Okay. They function for verbs, guys. All right. For even though they're made of 2 pieces or 3 pieces, but, they function for one meaning of a verb. All right. So take a look at number 1. He's been smoking too much. He really needs to cut down. If you hear someone say cut down, so he's been smoking too much. كتير عم بدخن فلان مين ما كان ها. He really needs to cut down. يعني لازمه إيش؟ Cut down means what?
Stop. Stop.
Decrease. Yes.
Stop
Stop it?
or
Cut
decrease.
down? No.
Yeah.
Cut
Decrease,
down does not mean
decrease.
stop. Cut down does not mean stop. It means decrease it.
Decrease.
Decrease يعني يقنن يقلل قد ما بيقدر. Okay, cut down. Yes, Dr. Hiba.
Same you said. Yes.
Go ahead and read
decrease.
number 2 for us.
Yeah.
Can you do number 2 for us? Let's take a look at the next phrasal verb.
Okay, the company had to cut off the electricity because the bill was unpaid. Cut off, stopped, I think.
What do you think, guys? Cut off means stop?
To pay.
Yes دكتورة يقطعوا الكهرباء يعني.
Yes. Okay. Do you think it's stop it or stop the supply of? Because I'm looking at the meanings here.
Stop supply.
Yeah, that's better. Stop the supply is better. So the company had to cut off the electricity. That means stop like supplying, those people who are probably not paying the bills, right? So cut off the electricity does not mean actually cut something, right? Cut off means stop supplying, these people with electricity because the bill was unpaid, right? The bill means the money that they had to pay was not paid. Number 3, Dr. Ghaif.
He kept teasing me, so finally I told him to cut it off.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
cut it
You
out.
tell people something. Listen, if my son keeps annoying me, that's what teasing means. Tease means, annoying, guys. Like, playing and gaming in a way that I don't like. All right? That's what it means in English. All right? So you will tell him to cut it out. Cut it out means stop it. Don't continue with your annoying ways, okay? That's what it means, all right? So what does that mean that you will ask him to cut it out? I just said it.
To stop.
Yeah, stop it. To stop it. Because even look at the other meanings. Do they work? Manage, advance, throw away, stop the supply, imply, get revenge against, recover from, decrease it, be friendly. No, none of them are suitable. So the only suitable one is that I told him to cut it out, and it means to stop it. It doesn't mean cut. Someone was annoying me, was teasing me means annoying me, all right? Like they were throwing pillows on me, all right? Sometimes you're not in the mood for pillow throwing. Are you always in the mood for pillow throwing? Sometimes you are, but imagine that it happens when you're not in the mood. Your nephew, your brother, your sister,
Yes,
they want to play and you don't want to play. Your mood is not ready for playing, okay? So you tell them, cut it out, and it means stop it, okay? See how even in the phrase, you can understand the phrasal verb based on the context clues. Like if we did not read the beginning, we wouldn't think cut it out means that, because even sometimes cut it off or cut it means actually to cut, but out, and then you can cut it out. If you are a tailor, listen guys, if you are a tailor, يعني خياط, you might want to cut something out. All right, cut something out means out of the, like remove it here. And that would not be, let me say.
Divided.
Yeah, it will be a literal phrasal verb.
Yes.
It will mean something else,
Yes.
totally something else. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, and it won't be, listen, it won't be this kind of phrasal verb. It will be something else and be related to something else, all right? Yeah. Anyway, number 4. Yes, Dr. Khulud, go for 4.
Yes, he is working hard because he really wants to get ahead in his career.
Good.
I suggest to be advanced in his career.
Correct, 100%. He is working hard. ليل نهار عم بيشتغل بجد. Why? Because لأنه he really wants to get ahead in his career. بده guys to get ahead يعني إيش guys؟ يسعى يصل يرتفع في مجال عمله his career, right? يعني ما بده يضل على حاله. He wants to advance himself. See, here's G, advance. So you should write G, or I would say even write the word down so that you can keep looking at advance and get ahead. So you can say that I want to advance myself. Okay, or I want to in my career, in terms of my career, or I want to get ahead in my career. All right, you can say this or that. Okay, both are correct and both are used. Okay, number 5, where are the hands? Only Dr. Khulud, where are you guys? Why don't you help me out? Where are you? So you're all here, but you're all not being that helpful. Where are you guys? Dr. Ala, Dr. Saad, Dr. Hanadi, Dr. Zaid, Dr. Dua. What's going on, guys? Are we so busy? Dr. Rida, Dr. Abla, Dr. Ali. Do you know that we only have next week together? It's going to be our last week. Don't you guys want participation grades? Dr. Afnan, Dr. Sana, Dr. Rahme, Dr. Noura. Come on, guys. Dr. Hiba, Dr. Islam, Dr. Ghaith. And
Doctor, may I answer?
huh?
May I answer?
Please do.
Okay, Doctor. Okay, she is just sorry. She is just a nice person that she is easily able to get along with everyone. I think the same meaning of to cope. The person
Good.
who can cope with anyone or adapt with anyone.
Yes, that's true. I don't know if you
To
can
deal,
see the
we
meaning.
can say.
Yeah.
To deal,
Yes.
yes, exactly.
So
yes.
she is such a nice person that she is easily able to get along with everyone. To get along means what?
ينسجم, like
Yeah, that means, yes. And what does it mean? To get
To
along.
deal, to deal.
To deal, not to be friendly.
Be friend, to be friendly.
yes, yes.
I think
Be
it's
friendly,
to
like
be friendly. What do you think,
Yes.
guys? Isn't this
To
better?
be friendly.
You know what friendly means,
Yes.
guys? That you can connect with anybody.
صديق محبب. Yes.
Yeah, well, it's not sadiq. It's taken from friend,
it's like,
But when you
Doctor,
say
I
friendly,
think
a friendly person is
like
a
a
person
social
that
like
yeah. Go ahead, tell me.
like a social person who is
Good.
a very social person.
Now, don't
Yeah.
say very, very, but they're the kind of people who are open to friendship,
Open, yeah.
are open to, conversations, even if they are slight at the beginning. Some people, they're closed. They don't want to even say hi. Okay. But some people there, hi, how are you? How's the weather today? How's the new, department? When you come to the university, for the first time, and they have been there for a while to a university, let me say, and they are open and friendly. If you need anything, come over. If you need any kind of help, I'll help you. Those are friendly people, we say. You can't call them friends, even though they are friendly. Friendly means, they're nice, they're generous, they're welcoming. You can talk to them. You don't feel pressured when you deal with them. Got it? Huh? Like that. That's why we say here, guys, that you can get along with everybody, that this person can get along with everyone. I'm reading like parts and bits here. So she is such a nice person that she is easily able to get along with everyone. Some people are like that. They're very good, at getting along, with people. All right, that means they can connect with all kinds of people. All right, yeah. So how about 6? Thank you. Could you explain a little more clearly? ممكن تشرح لي بشكل أوضح لو سمحتي. I really don't understand what you are trying to get at. That means, like, what is your goal behind, what you're saying, all right? I really don't understand what you are trying to get at. That means what your intention is, probably from having this talk, all right? So what does it mean here, to get at? To manage, to advance, throw away, stop, imply.
Imply, Doctora,
Imply. So sometimes people say things. Why do they say them? They say them because in an indirect way. Why? Because they want to imply something.
Yes.
So when I say that, listen, guys, I'm very tired. Since the early morning, I've been doing a lot of work. What does this mean? What am I implying?
I
What
am busy.
I
I am
trying to
busy.
get at? Huh?
I am busy. I'm so busy.
No, Dr. Khulud, when you tell your children, I've been working all day. What
You
are
are
you
angry.
trying to get at?
You are tired.
They should help you.
Excellent, Dr. Khulud. No, not that you're tired. No, it's the repetition. Get up and help me right now, all of you, or I will kill you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what your when you say I'm so tired, get up and help me. That's what it means. You don't have to say get up and help me. All right. So
Yeah.
that is what you're trying to get at. That's what you're trying to imply. All right. Sometimes you do that. You know why? Because you want your children to have that, kind of feel, that they know mama is not, that relaxed. She's been working since the early morning. They have to also be more responsible, they're off. They don't have anything to do right now but sleep and eat, and why not help a bit, you see? So 7. All right. When he stole some money from her, wow, she really wanted to do something to get back at him. What did she want to do? She wanted to get back at him. What does that mean?
Revenge against.
Excellent. To
Get revenge against.
get revenge against him. To get back at someone means to return what they did to you.
Return.
Return it back to them in some kind of way. That is to revenge, okay? To get revenge against their act, okay? Yeah. So some people are like that. They feel that they need to, to get revenge. And that is to get back at the person who hurt them, who wronged them, who did something wrong, to them. All right. Well, and some people, fortunately, I don't know if fortunately or unfortunately, are very, let me say that they're not that kind of people. They, say that, God will, get revenge for me. You see, I don't need to, get any kind of revenge. All right. Because, this is just how the world is made. If you do something wrong, it will return, or it will reverse. It will, right? It will strike you back in the same, as they say, let me say, amount, let me say, even, yeah. So in the same, even pressure, or let me say in the same, kind of, let me say, this difficulty that created for a person, it will return back to you, let me say. All right, so got it? To get back at someone means to, kind of get revenge. All right. And revenge means what, guys, in Arabic? Revenge, guys.
ينتقم.
الانتقام. Good job. Yeah. So some people, they feel they have to do something like that. Others don't. They're forgiving, and they say, I think, God will, provide me with what, with something better. Something better, and that's it. Okay. So we have enough money to get by for a few months. We won't have a lot of extras, but we will survive. To get by means what here? We have enough money to get by.
Manage.
Huh?
Manage. Manage.
Manage.
Yes, manage. See, guys, it doesn't mean there's a lot of money, but we will be fine. We'll be okay. We can deal with the situation. Manage, guys, means get by. نمشي أمورنا بالعربي العامية حتى. We have enough money to get by means نمشي هالأشهر, for a few months. We won't have a lot of extra. See how it's explained? It also means, because you see the semicolon? Semicolon explains what this means here. We won't have a lot of extras. ما عندنا زيادة رح يكونوا زيادات, but we will survive. We will survive means we will get by also. And it also means, again, back again, it means that we will manage. Manage يعني نمشي حالنا. All right? Yeah, that's really what it means. All right? Well, I'm trying to, I don't want to mute you guys, honestly speaking, but sometimes I'm going to have to do this because I don't know from where the distraction is coming. Yeah, and you guys need to forgive me too. All right. All right. Let's do the next one. And I have muted everyone. So if you want to speak, you have to unmute your mic. Yes, Dr. Khulud.
Yes, Doctora. She was sick for several weeks. but now she has it.
Started.
Started to get over it معناتها
Yeah.
to recover from.
Thank you so much. So she was sick for several weeks, but now كانت مريضة لعدة أسابيع, but now لكن الآن she has started بلشت إيش to get over it. To get over it means, as you just said, to recover. To get over means إنها تتحسن. تتحسن in Arabic, to recover, right? Yeah, فبلشت تتحسن. You know, guys, when you get sick, you know, it's not like, you know, on the spot you're going to feel better, mostly when you're, you know, Dr. Khulud, you can tell us more about this. You know, like if it's a virus infection, you know, or a viral infection, how long does it take to get over?
Several weeks, and then she will be recover from it to be has a good.
No. I mean, if I get sick now, if I catch a cold, إذا برشح يعني, how long does it take me to get over it or to recover? Yeah, because you know it's winter right now.
Doctor, according to the virus that someone have coronavirus is different from another virus, community virus. It maybe will have 1 week to get okay.
3 days.
Yeah, so most of the times, you know, it seems that, you know, if it's a regular, you know, cold virus, you know, maybe it's a week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, I don't know, you know, sometimes if you have influenza, sometimes it's, you know, the hard kind of influenza, right? And sometimes it's lighter. Is it because the virus is different? The influenza virus is different sometimes?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hopefully you guys do not get sick. And if you do, you recover, you get over the sickness very fast. Number 10, let's have someone else help, guys. It's not just me and Dr. Khulud who are going to speak all day. Where's Dr. Ghaith now? You've been helpful for a while, Dr. Ghaith. Help us out here. Dr. Islam.
خلاص دكتورة ما أنا غلبته.
We have Dr. Islam wanting to help us now.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Islam, we're listening to you.
Yes, doctor. There are too many clothes in my closet. I need to get rid of some of them.
Good job.
Throw away, I think.
Yes.
يعني أنت تتخلص منهم بما معنى.
100%. Very good. So there are too many clothes in my closet, and too many, look at the word too. Too مش معناها كتير, guys. زيادة عن اللزوم. كلمة too دايما, guys, معناها negative. يعني لدرجة إنه الخزانة مو واسعة, وهذا إشي مش حلو, مش منيح. And I don't want to buy another closet. So there are too many clothes in my closet. عندي ملابس كمها أو عددها, you know, زيادة عن اللزوم. Okay. I need, أنا بحاجة to get rid of some of them. إني أتخلص, to get rid of, right? So get rid means to throw away. All right. Throw away could be in different ways, you know. Get rid of could mean to throw away in the garbage can, to give away. Yani it doesn't always necessarily mean, you know, to actually throw in the garbage can. You know, throw away, that means get rid of them, you know, and not have them, at least at my home. All right. So we want to do the second group, and we will stop after the second group of, you know, sentences which have also more phrases. Okay. That's what we want to do before I let you guys go. So the second group, who would like to help us out here? Dr. Who? Where's Dr. Khulud? I don't see her anymore. She was here and she disappeared. Who's going to help us with, you know, the second group? If you have your hand up, I will, you know, directly ask you to help out here. Dr. Hiba, do you want to do the first sentence?
Doctor, really, I didn't know it. Okay.
I'll help you. Don't worry.
Okay. He read the untrue stories about himself in the newspaper, but he tried not to react. He just tried to brush it off.
What does it mean? We don't have the options here. I will show you the options right now, okay? What does it mean? He read the untrue stories about himself in the newspaper. يعني قرأ القصص اللي ما بتعكس الواقع, guys, الغير حقيقية عن نفسه في الجريدة. Maybe هذا someone important, شخص مشهور, يعني الناس عم يعني بعيد الشر بتاكل بلحمه زي ما بيقولوا, عم تحكي عليه, right? So he just tried to brush it off. حاول شو يعمل? To brush it off. What does that mean when you say that this person tried to brush it off?
To
What does
hide.
it mean?
Ignore it.
Yes, it
Like
could be
ignore,
ignore.
yeah.
Yes, take care of, review, choose, get sick with, look at it briefly, investigate, come and get, unexpectedly find, not let it have an effect or bother.
Okay, look at it briefly.
How about this one?
I think.
No, brush it off,
No.
guys. Brush it off زي كأنه جبت فرشاية وكنت شغلة على ملابسك. So this is
Not
a
let it have
metaphor.
an effect.
هاي metaphor guys.
Not had
metaphor
an
يعني هي
effect.
تشبيه. Right حتى هي ماشي phrasal verb بس phrasal verb مليء بالتشبيه guys. Huh? When you brush something off like this, what does that mean? Yes, G. Not let it
Have
have
not
an effect
effects,
on
yes.
you. Okay?
Yes.
So whenever or if you ever hear anybody trying to make fun of you, try to say something that did not happen, you know, to you, or, you know, or describe you in some kind of way, try to brush it off. That really means ignore. But at the same time, when you ignore, you don't want this to have an effect on you. Because some people, you know what they do? They think and rethink, and they, you know, let me say, disturb themselves in ways that they shouldn't, right? You cannot control people and what they say about you. We wish we can, guys. But the thing is that people are going to talk whether we like it or not. Whether we are, guys, prophets had people talking about them. And we're not prophets. Got the idea? Huh? So we should remember that. So we need to brush, off a lot of, things that, are said about us sometimes and ignore them and try to just, live our days as, as good as possible, let's say. Number 2, who would like to read for us?
Me.
Sentence number 2. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Ghaith.
Could you please, yes. I haven't played Scrabble in quite some time. I will have to brush up on the rules before we play to remember something like that.
Good job. Yes, it's true. So I haven't played Scrabble. It's a game. Scrabble is a game like, chess or something like that. من زمان ما لعبت هاللعبة اللي اسمها Scrabble, for quite some time. I'll have to brush up on, as Dr. Ghaith said, like kind of revise the rules, to ask about the rules, to check the rules, before we play, because I forgot, these basic, things that I have to, let me say, apply or use while playing. So we have to what? To brush up on, investigate, come and get, unexpectedly find, not let, it have an effect, bother, take care of, review, relearn, choose, get sick, or look at briefly. What do you think now from here? What do you want to choose?
B, review or relearn.
Good job. That is really the answer to. So if you want to brush up on a song that you haven't listened to for a while, you can now. That means to relearn the lyrics, to listen to it again, kind of revise it, and so on. So you don't have to just brush up on a game. You could brush up on anything that you knew before and you haven't, let me say, practiced it for a while. Okay? You see how you can use this? Now, number 3. So do we have any hands up in the air? Let's see. Dr. Khulud. And then I'll come back to you after Dr. Khulud, okay? Because she has her hand up.
Yes. While we were walking in the mountains, we were lucky enough to come across a waterfall. It was quite a surprise to find such a beautiful things. From the choices, unexpectedly find.
Good job. It's true. So come across, to suddenly encounter, right? And you did not expect to see this or something like that, all right? And in Arabic, what does it mean to come across?
مرات بالصدفة يعني.
Exactly that. يعني إنك تصادف, okay? تصادف. So while we were walking in the mountains, ونحن كنا نمشي في الجبال, right? بينما ما كنا يعني نمشي أو نتمشى في الجبال منطقة جبلية. We were lucky enough to come across. كنا يعني lucky محظوظين إنه إيش؟ إنه نصادف waterfall, شلال ماء ساقط, guys. It was quite a surprise to find such a beautiful thing. وطبعا شيء كان مدهش, مفاجئ بشكل حلو طبعا. إنه الواحد يعني يصادف هيك يعني شغلة طبيعية جميلة. all right, yeah. So as you said, it's going to be which one of these?
Unexpected
Exactly.
finds.
H,
Yes.
unexpectedly find.
Finds.
So that's what it means over here, that you
It's-
came across, okay? And come across sometimes, guys, could sometimes just actually mean that you encounter guys معناها زي تواجه تلاقي حتى مش ضروري حتى يكون فيها عنصر المفاجأة. all right, يعني I came across my friend, not necessarily always surprising, like you didn't expect though, okay? Not necessarily that you expected it to happen though. Okay, where are we? We are right here. 4. She is
Number
not
4.
feeling. Yes, Dr. Ghaiti, would you like to help us with that one?
She is not feeling well.
Number
She
2.
thinks she is about to come down with the flu. To يعني to infect.
All right.
We say.
So
Yeah,
she's
something.
not feeling well. مش كتير شاعرة إنها مرتاحة, she thinks she is about to come down with the flu. Yes, to get infected with the flu. Good job. Good job. She thinks يعني هي بتعتقد. تعرفوا كيف الناس بتقول مرات شكلي بدي أرشح. I don't feel مفاصلي بوجعوني. So مفاصلي بوجعوني means I don't feel well. Okay, really, we don't exactly sometimes say what is going on, but I don't feel well could be that you have a headache, you have fever, your joints مفاصل, right, hurt you. All right, and so you say it looks like والله شكلي I think I'm going to come down with the flu. And come down with the flu according to, let me say, this information that we have here, the table.
Get sick with.
Yes, get sick with, right? That is exactly what it means. Now we have more hands. Thank God, Dr. Rawan. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghaith.
Number 5, while I'm on my trip, do you think you could look after my cats? It's me, take care.
Good job. So while I'm on my trip, do you think you could look after my cats? Yes, look after means, to take care. I heard that, guys, I heard that there are, cat hotels. Did you hear about these cat hotels? No? No?
What's your answer, Doctora?
It's not an answer. I asked you a question, which is, did you
Sorry,
ever
your
hear,
question.
yeah, did you ever hear that there were, hotels for cats, قطط?
No, I didn't
Like
hear
if you
about that.
you want to travel and you don't want to take your cat with you and you have no one to look after your cat, you put it in a cat hotel. This is very common in Kuwait. This is very common in Kuwait. Do you know that?
No, I don't know that.
Yeah, my sisters told me that, when they're planning to come to Jordan, that's where they're going to put their cats. Yeah, so that's how I knew about cat hotels. And they actually said they're called cat hotels. Okay, like that. Okay. Yeah, I think they pay 2 KDs per day. Well, that's probably not that expensive, which is probably 5 JDs per day or something like that for, the hotel to look after the cat while they're away. All right. So yes, look after, that's what it means, to take care of. Good. We should look after our loved ones, our kids, right? 6, we have Dr. Isra. She has had her hand up for a while.
The police detective was not sure how the crime was committed. She decided to look into it further.
Good.
I mean,
Exactly.
investigate.
Good job. Good. To look into it further means to investigate. So the detective, the police detective, متحري. الشرطة يعني اللي وظيفته يتحرى كمان, detective يعني هو كمان, right? Like, inspector or detective gadget. Have you ever, or Conan? Have you ever heard of Conan?
Investigator, دكتورة بسموه. Investigator.
Investigator, you can say that. Was not sure how the crime was committed, at the beginning. Sometimes they don't know, they have guesses, and then, here the investigator is a female. See, the police, she's the policewoman, all right, or a police detective. It doesn't show whether she's female or male. This is how we know, through the pronoun, and she decided to look into it further, like to, investigate. Looking into something further means to investigate, to go through the details, right? And this means, as your friend said, investigate, on a deeper level. And it's right where bother, investigate. Sorry, J, here it is. I was going to read the words here, but since, you know, it's right there and it caught my attention, no need to. How about go for 7 now? 7, 8, 9, 10, not so many to do, right? Come on, Dr. Hiba.
Okay, doctor. Here is my application. Could you take a few moments to look it over?
Good.
Look at it briefly. Take a view يعني.
Good. So look it over means, huh? This
خد
one?
لك نظرة
Which one did you get? Which one
يعني
did
زي
you
ما
answer?
بيقولوا.
Look at it
Look at
briefly.
it briefly.
Yeah, that's it. That it is. That's what the answer is. That is. That's
إيه
the
دكتورة.
good. Look it over means to look at it briefly. Okay. And تتفحصها, guys, you know, بالنظر, you know, to check that things are in place. That's really what it means. So here's my application. هذا الطلب, you know, form بدك تعبيه, you know, could you take a few minutes or moments حتى ثواني, moments بتفرق عن minutes دقايق, و moments, guys, they ثواني, all right? To look it over, and look it over means, you know, to look at it briefly. Thank you so much. Let's do 8. Where is Dr. Noura?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead. أهلا.
Number 8, the brother always used to pick on his younger sister. His favorite tracks were to pull her hair, tease her, or scare her. I think bother. It's mean pick on bother.
Yes, it does. It does mean
Yeah.
that. These are, I think, you know, there are lots of synonyms here. So the brother always used to pick on his younger sister. يعني إنه الأخ في أخ معين, you know. كان دايما إيش he used to pick on his younger sister. يعني يضل ينرفز أخته, يزعجها. Pick on, guys, يعني يزعج صراحة. Okay. يعني يضل ينكشها. All right.
Annoying.
شعرك قصير, شكلك مايل, you know, like to pick on, like you're not right, you know, you're not put together in that right, you know. Yeah. So his favorite tricks, كان يعملها tricks, يعني tricks يعني يضل يخدعها, يعملها حركات انه توقعها مثلا, you know, مشاكل او بتنزعج, were to pull her hair, اما يشد شعرها, tease her كمان, شو يعني tease her, to also, you know, make fun of her, scare her, يخوفها. My son always does this to me. So I would be about to walk into a room and then he's like, boo. Wow. And then I would want to kill him all the time. So he knows that, you know, he can scare me all the time. You know, it's kind of shocking to think that you're alone and then you hear someone like scream, boo, come on. Yeah. So I get scared. So don't do this to me. Okay. So pick on, as you just said, who answered the question?
Noura.
You
One
say
more.
bother.
Yes,
Bother.
Bother, guys, means يزعج. Yeah, pick on means to bother. Yeah. Thank you so much. 9, let's have Dr. Islam do 9, and Dr. You know, Ghaith or Dr. Khulud do 10.
ممكن أنا كمان دكتورة.
You have already done. So I would say, who did more than the other? Dr. Khulud or Dr. Ghaith did more? I don't remember who did more, but you guys are working very hard, both of you, mashallah. So you guys decide who's going to do the work. Yalla, Dr. Islam is going to do 9, we said. Go ahead.
I have tried on 3 dresses, but you can't afford all of them. You will have to pick out just one. It means choice.
Good, to choose, guys. You have tried on 3 dresses. Maybe this is your daughter or your sister, or you know, so you know they would try on sometimes 3 dresses, but you cannot afford all of them. They're expensive. All of them are expensive, you know. So you'll have to pick one, or pick out just one. Pick out means, as you just said, to choose.
Choose.
Yeah. Thank you so much. 10. Who's gonna do 10?
Dr. Ghaith.
Oh,
Dr. Ghaith.
Dr. Khulud for being generous. Yalla, go ahead, Dr. Ghaith. She was generous with you and gave you the.
يعني إذا هي بدها تجاوب ما في مشكلة دكتورة.
It's okay. She doesn't mind. Go ahead. Thank you, Dr. Khulud. Thank you, Dr. Ghaith.
Could you pick me up after school today? I will wait for you out in front of the school. اللي
Who are
he
you
came
talking
and get.
Listen, Dr. Ghaith, who are you talking to?
What, please?
Who are you talking to in this sentence or in your question here?
Maybe like son
Your
or
son?
This is
for
this
his.
is listen, this is you, 15 years ago to your dad.
Yeah, maybe.
Could you pick me up after school today? I'll wait for you out in front of the school. Yes. So pick me up means, what does it mean though?
Came and get.
Come.
Come. Could you
Come and get.
come and get me, with what? What will he have? His
Car.
With
Pick up
his
in car.
With
Yeah,
his
so
car. Yes.
so not his motorcycle, huh?
Yes.
Not
You know that my dad used to come and pick me up with his motorcycle? My dad was, kind of, that kind of person who was the strange, unique person. All right, guys, we want to stop right here. If you have any comments, please let me know. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to also stop the recording. But do you have any questions before we leave for today?